Revelations chapter 11 and verse 14. The second woe was past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Bakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and other bishops of Great Millstone, who rule very well, very beautifully. Double salutations to the Akim out here pushing this gospel and truth and its sincerity to the best of their ability, given to them by Yahweh Bashem El Shai. Peace, blessings, and salutations be unto the elect scattered abroad. May the election of Yahweh Bashem El Shai, Lord willing, fall upon your houses. Amen. So it says right here, I'm going to read it again. The second woe was past, which that second woe was going into World War II, right? It says, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly, which is going into World War III. And I bring that out to go into this article right here. It says that Ukraine crisis could lead to nuclear war under new strategy, right? And this nuclear war is World War III, which is going to be the worst and the final world war that is to take place. Now I want to go into this article right here. It says 3,000 American troops are headed to Europe, with thousands more on standby in response to the Kremlin's threats against Ukraine. Right, so America is preparing for this war. America is sending its military to certain areas where it needs to be, or where they need to be, preparing for war. America has already sent, those, the military, basically their arsenal, their equipment over to Ukraine, and Ukraine has received them. Now they're sending over their troops, right? It says President Joe Biden is pondering further actions, and as U.S.-Russia tensions rise, a new American nuclear war plan, previously unknown, lurks in the background, right, man? And we know ultimately, America is the one that's pushing, pushing the boundaries, man. America is the one that's gonna be the one to cause this nuclear war. Russia's over here trying to, de-escalate it. They're not trying to go into a nuclear war. France, America's longest and most trusted ally, has now gotten into, treaties against America with Russia. They're ultimately getting in bed with Russia, man. Because America, these nations understand that America is pushing the boundaries, man. And Russia, Vladimir Putin, he said that if you cross these red lines, hey, it's going to be bad for you, man. Roughly paraphrasing what he had said, that's basically what he said is, you push these lines, hey, it's going to be bad for you. And that right there is prophecy, because, Ezekiel, matter of fact, I'll go to it. Is Ezekiel, and I'm just going to hit it real quick. Ezekiel 38, and I think it's verse 4. It says, and I will turn thee back, talking about Russia, right? Because in the beginning, if you read, it's talking about Gog and Magog, which is Russia, Russia today. The Edomites, the Russians are the ones that are, inhabiting that land, right? At this present time, verse 4 says, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, right? And turn thee back to what, man? Turn thee back into that, that bear-like Soviet type attitude, man. America is poking the bear, and you don't want to sit here and poke a bear, because that bear is liable to bite or kill whoever is poking it, right? And we know that America is the one that's poking the bear, which that bear would be Russia, right? And I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horsemen and horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords, which is going into Russia's army, man. The Lord Yahweh Shem El Shai is stirring up the minds of Russia, having America, ultimately be, the one that Russia's mind is being stirred up against, and having Vladimir Putin, basically setting up his army, man. They're talking about, which they're going back and forth on whether it's facts or not, but I wholly believe, that Russia is sending its military and massing its troops, his army, at the border of Russia and Ukraine. Why? Because the war is imminent, man. Meaning it's right around the corner, man. You can see it, which ultimately is prophecy, man. We're in prophecy, man. Matthew's the 24th chapter says that we will hear of wars and rumors of wars, man. Let me grab that real quick. This is Matthew's 24. I'll just jump to the point. It says, and ye shall hear of wars, verse 6, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Right. And we're hearing about rumors of wars, man. We're hearing about a war that is ultimately on the brink of starting, man. We're hearing that, man, and we're seeing, little skirmishes between, I think it's Israel and Iran, and you know what I mean, and Israel and Gaza, and so on and so forth, man. They got the little skirmishes going on, those little wars that are breaking out. But the number one war that's ultimately prophesied to happen is World War III, man. Which all these things build up to that, man. We're dealing with Israel. Scriptures talk about the least of thy flock shall draw them out, which is going into Israel. Israel's the least of the flock, man. And I'm talking about the land, Israel, with those fucking 1948ers, that are inhabiting that land over there, man. They're the least of the flock, man. And the skirmishes that they're causing is causing ripples, which we know ripples ultimately get bigger and bigger and bigger, man. It's like rolling a snowball down a really steep hill. Eventually, it's gonna keep collecting snow and getting bigger and bigger and bigger until it hits. And when it hits, it's gonna have a huge impact, a devastating impact, man. This is what all these things are leading up to, man. So let me go back to the article. It says right here, it says, the second paragraph says, for the first time, the war plan fully incorporates non-nuclear weapons as an equal player. The non-nuclear options include the realm of cyber warfare, including cyber attacks on the basic workings of society like electrical power or communications. Now this is in America's plan, man. But how much more is it in these other nations' plan, man? Because China is planning, and North Korea are planning to shoot off, these EMPs, man, electrical magnetic pulse missiles, man, which is gonna devastate the electrical grid here in America, man. Once you hit something with the EMP, hey, those things do not work anymore, man. They do not work. You can't get them to work anymore, man. And everything in this new age is damn near everything is all digital, man. So it'll shut down your phones, it'll shut down your lights, it'll shut down your AC system or your heating system. It'll shut down your fridge, your computers, your phones, your microwave. I'm talking about it'll shut down every single thing, man. And that's gonna lead to whoever gets hit with the EMP to go into the Stone Ages, man. To where you have to, make fire and to be able to cook. You're going to have to sit there and go out and use your imagination to play, man. This is what it's leading to, man. Because the EMP is part of World War III. This is what's going to be used, man. These things are going to be used, in that time, man. It says, including cyber attacks and basic workings of society like electrical power or communications, rather than strengthening deterrence, the emergency of countless options. Hey, I want to go back to that. It says electrical power or communications. Hey, so this will also stop, America ultimately being able to, be warned of, because their sonar system, it goes off electrical, man, and so it'll stop them from being able to, detect when these missiles are coming, man. Because again, in the the headline is talking about nuclear war, man. So nuclear missiles have to be shot off. Hey, well, your defense system is partly electrical, man, or if not, fully electronic, man. You have to press the button and it'll set off, send a signal to this to fire it off, and this and the third, all these different things, man. You need your electronics to work. so you can fire off those missiles so your defense system can work. Hey, but we know that America's defense system is not going to work. America's defense system is as long, as right along with Israel's defense system is inadequate for what is coming, man. You know, it says, rather than strengthen deterrence, the emergence of countless options and hidden cyber attack schemes weakens deterrence, obscures the nuclear firebreak, and makes escalation more likely. Right, so it'll cause for these nations to get heated. Like, what the hell's going on? Matter of fact, fuck it, we're just gonna go to war. Fuck this shit. It's gonna escalate everything, man. And America's not thinking about that because this is America's plan. This is the elites. Or really Yahweh Shem Shai, is putting it in the minds of these, these people, man, these nations, starting with the elites on down, to go into this war, right? To escalate everything, because it's prophecy that everything has to be escalated, Everything has to get to a certain point to where it's about to boil over, man, And once it starts to boil over, hey, that's when the nuclear missiles get fired off, and that's when Yahweh Shai comes, man, at the same time. And this is what we're waiting for. But it says right here, it says, why? Because an adversary such as Russia, which adversary means enemy, so America sees Russia as an enemy, which like 10 years ago, hey, they didn't see Russia as an enemy, man. They didn't really have ties like that, good like that, but they didn't see him as an enemy. They were trading oil, trading this, trading that, all different types of things right along with China, And this is like, a very short period, from the Soviet area, the Cold War era. It's like I said, era, the Cold War era, and now there was actually a very short period of what you would call peace between the three giants, man, which would be America, Russia, and China. There was actually somewhat of I put quotations around this, man, because it's not necessarily really peace, but it's peace, compared to the two situations that we have at right now, the pre-Soviet area, the Soviet era, and this era that we're in right now, with these nations, the tension between these three giants are getting higher and higher and higher, man. So like it says, because an adversary such as Russia can be confused about where preparations for nuclear war start, and whether a multi-domain attack is merely a defense or the making of a first strike, right? So ultimately, America is planning to stir things up and to try and confuse Russia on where it's going to start, or this, that, and the third. No, man, you're not going to be able to, because you're gonna do some of the America's going to do some of these things. What you're going to have Russia just saying, fuck it, we're going to destroy this fucking place, man. And Russia is, a huge factor, if not the main country that is to, play a part in this nuclear war, man. Let's grab this, and like I'm not going to read too much of this article, man. It is a very long article, but I'll read this. Is Revelations 20:8. It says, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth. It says Gog and Magog, which is Russia, to gather them to battle. Right? So Russia is going to be the main character to get these nations on board to go against America. And really, it's not going to be hard, because we're in the time of 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3, where that man of sin, the son of perdition, is being revealed, So all this wickedness and all this, this false information that America is pushing, or this false sense of security, or false sense of leadership, proper leadership that America is trying to push on these people. It's like, yeah, I'm lighting some resin, or I'm putting some resin on my on this coal right here, so I can have some smell goods. But these nations are seeing that, man. That's why it says, the nations are. Matter of fact, let's go to that. Actually, let me finish this real quick. It says Gog and Magog to gather them to the battle, to the number of whom is as the sands of the sea. Right. So let's go to Jeremiah chapter, I think it's 51 and verse 7. Jeremiah 51 and 7. It says, Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, which is going into what? That wine of fornication, man. which is America's philosophy. These nations have ultimately allowed for homosexuality. They're allowing for people to to get fat eating McDonald's and Burger King and Taco Bell and so on and so forth. Straying away from their quote unquote traditions, or their origin, and taking hold of American ways and American traditions such as Christmas, Thanksgiving, so on and so forth. And it says right here, therefore the nations are mad. Why? Because they're ultimately finding out that all this that America has pushed on these nations is nothing but bullshit, man. So these nations are pissed off, man. So it's not going to be hard for Russia to get these nations on board with what Russia is trying to do. Because America is being found out, man. Starting with these elites, America is being found out, man. And that's why America is going to be destroyed. Completely destroyed, man. Again, starting with Russia. Russia is going to be the main country that's going to take part in America's destruction, man. It says actually I want to start with this precept real quick. I don't have too many precepts, man, so this is all through the Spirit, man. But this is Joel chapter 3 and verse 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Right, man, and war is being prepared, man. We read this article, that America and Ukraine and NATO and Russia, are ultimately preparing war. War is being prepared as we're sitting here speaking, man. As we're sitting here doing this lesson, this war is being prepared. America's sending troops, to Ukraine. Russia's been sending troops to the Ukraine border. Ukraine has been sending troops to the Ukraine and Russia border, man. So all these nations are ultimately getting involved, man. Which is going to lead to that war. And it very well could pop off, but it's not going to be to the point where, nuclear war is going to start. So it could be just, fighting here and there, skirmishes, and which we know that there's a prophecy before nuclear war that has to, pop off, which is the Charagma. So this might, start real small, and it might start rolling downhill while, Esau Edom is starting to introduce his Charagma, and once he starts forcing it, hey, that nuclear war is gonna pop off, man. Because again, there's all 1 Corinthians 14:40, all things must be done decently and in order, right? So there's an order to the prophecy, and the first prophecy that has to come is the Charagma, and then World War III, man. Which are like scriptures talk about, these are all the beginning of sorrows, man. So the true sorrows is what? The hour of temptation, which is Jacob's trouble, and then World War III following right after it, man. But nonetheless, this is prophecy. This is what's coming, man. That war is being prepared, man. So let me go back to Jeremiah, and that's all I wanted to grab on this one, man. Let's go back to Jeremiah 50 and verse 9. It says, for lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon, which is America, an assembly of great nations from the north country, right? So that north country is going into Russia, right? And all of Russia's allies, which you can read about, some of them in Ezekiel the 38th chapter, man. I think it's verse 5. It talks about the Persians, the Ethiopians, the Libyans, and so on and so forth. There's more nations that are ultimately, that are allies with America now, such as France, that are going to leave America's side and go against America, which you can read about in Revelations, the 17th chapter near the end, that the 10 horns shall hate the whore, man, and burn her with fire, man, which again, those 10 horns is going into what? NATO, it's going into, NATO and the EU. I think mainly NATO, but yeah, NATO and the EU, which is part of the beast, man. NATO and the EU are all part of the beast. So it's got all these nations that are allied with America are going to turn on America, man. Before the wickedness that it's doing and for all the problems that it's causing in the earth, man. So when it says an assembly of great nations, is going into, those that are part of NATO, those that are part of the EU, as well as nations that are not part of either one, teaming up with Russia, which is going to be the main character in this play, when it comes to World War III. It says, and they shall set themselves in array against her, meaning Babylon, From thence shall she be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty experiment, and none shall return in vain. And that's going into those nuclear war, man. You know, it's going into those ICBM nuclear missiles, which are going to hit America and destroy America, man. You know, this is what's coming, man. You know, you can't avoid prophecy, man. You know, the Lord Yahweh Shem El Shai. Matter of fact, let's grab that. You know, Isaiah 55 and verse 11. It's hitting the point. Isaiah 55 and 11. It says, so shall my word. Actually, I'll start at verse 10. You know, actually, I'll start at verse 8. It says, for my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord Yahweh Shem El Shai. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts higher than your thoughts. Right, man? So, you know, we don't know what the Lord Yahweh Shem El Shai, you know, thinks. You know, we can't compare ourselves to Yahweh Shem El Shai. He's above us, man. You know, just like your parents are above you. You know, you can't tell them, you know, how to raise children, this, that, and the third. You know, because they've experienced it. They know more. You know what I mean? They raised your ass. You know, so you can't tell them shit. And well, guess what? We can't tell Yahweh Shem El Shai shit, man. You know, if anything, he controls us, man. You know, Proverbs 20 and 24 says, man's goings are of the Lord, man. How then can a man understand his own way? Right? So the Lord Yahweh Shem El Shai is far above us, man. You know, on top of that, we're just fucking, we're men. You know, he's the Most High, man. That's why his name is Yahweh, man. You know, the Most High, man. Come on, man. The title, the Most High. He is the Most High. There's no one above him, man. You know. It says, for as the rain cometh down, and the snow from heaven, and returneth not hither, but watereth the earth, and maketh it bring forth and bud, that it may give seed to the sower and bread to the eater, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void. Why? Because rain doesn't go back up. Rain doesn't come down and then go back up. Snow doesn't come down and go back up. You know, the rain comes down, and what does it do? It waters the plants and it brings forth bud. So there's a process, right? And with the Lord Yahweh Shem El Shai has a process, man. He sends out you know, his men to tell you what's to come. And when it comes, it's like, you know what? We warned you. We told you it was coming. Just like when, you know, before it actually starts raining, you start seeing the clouds start to gather, man. You know, you're ultimately warned. If you look up, you're warned of what is to come, man. You know. Just by paying attention, just by watching, and this is what we're commanded to do. We're commanded to watch, you know, meaning to pay attention, to walk circumspectly, right? It says, it shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it, right? You know, and the Lord Yahweh Shem El Shai has said that what? The World War III is to come to pass, and you best believe it's going to come to pass, you know, and he told you, you know, what things to look for and how it's gonna, you know, how it's gonna happen, you know, and we're seeing all those signs leading up to the, you know, that final, you know, hoorah, man. You know, it's right around the corner, man. You need to watch and pray, man. You know, matter of fact, I'll end it with this. Is Luke 21 and verse 34. I love these scriptures, man. It's Luke 21:34. It says, and take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, so that day come upon you unawares. Right, man? You're supposed to be watching, man. You know, and doing what, you know, what is right by following the scriptures, man. Following after Yahweh Shem El Shai, man. You know, and praying that he reveal these signs unto you, man, and continue to reveal these signs unto you, and continue to have you, you know, to pay attention, you know. As well as many other things, man, you know, because you don't want to be in the position where you're caught with your pants down, man, you know, because it's going to be a gruesome destruction that's coming, man. You know, we want to be protected. So what do? We take heed, we watch, we do what the Lord Yahweh Shem El Shai told us to do. He told us to watch. He told us to gather up this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, so that way we can have a hedge of protection around us, man, from all high, you know. Verse 35, for as a snare, meaning a trap, it shall come upon all them that dwell upon the face of the earth. And when you're going to hunt and you use a trap, hey, that animal, you cover that trap and you make it blend in so good that when that animal is walking by, it doesn't see the trap. You know, usually what happens is that trap is you know, set up in a certain way that when you trap that animal, the animal tends to die. You know, that's just how it is. The animal tends to die and or is set up to die, you know. to where they can't move, they can't run away. Their death is imminent, you know? That's just how it is, man. And that's what's going to come upon all you people that are not watching. All you people, mainly you Jakes, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that are not paying attention, that are not watching, not serving y'all Bashim Yahweh Shai. It's going to come upon y'all unawares, man. As well as these other nations. Y'all going to receive the same judgment, right? Verse 36, watch ye therefore and pray always. This is what we need to be doing, man. We need to be praying. We need to be watching. You should be praying at least twice a day, man. At least twice a day, man. This is what we got to do, man. This is what's required of us in order to be found worthy to get the hell up out of here, man. And that's exactly what we want to do. We want to get the hell up out of here, man. Fuck this world, man. And fuck the people in this world that don't serve Yahweh Shem Shai, that are not part of the sheepfold. Hey, fuck these motherfuckers, man. Fuck waking up at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, man. 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning just to go to work, man. Fuck that little change, that little check that we get at the end of every week or every 2 weeks, man. Man, this shit ain't shit, man. We want to get the hell up out of here, man. So we're going to do any and everything that's commanded of us within, obviously it's going to be in righteousness, so we can get the hell up out of here, man. It says, watch ye therefore and pray always that ye may be accounted worthy, right? Counted worthy. We want to be found worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, which we know that, again, it starts with Jacob's trouble, which is the beginning of sorrows. The next thing after that is World War III, and the greatest prophecy ever is Yahweh Shai coming, man, which is going to be in the midst of the peak of World War III, man. Right before those missiles get shot off, or simultaneously as those missiles get shot off, hey, guess what? Yahweh Shai is going to be there, man, and Lord will, we're found worthy. We're going to be delivered, man. We're going to get the hell up out of here like we want to get, man. It says, be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass and to stand before the Son of Man, right, man, and to receive those crowns, man. That's what we need. That's what we want. As men, that's what we need. We want to be crowned, made kings and to rule over these nations with a rod of iron, man. That's the whole goal, man. But nonetheless, for us to get there, we need to watch and pray, man. Constantly be on your watch, constantly be on your A game, man. Because if not, you're done for, man. So come, man, pray always, man. Watch, pay attention, walk circumspectly, man. So with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shem Shai, Ba Shem Rakak. Double honors to the other apostles and other bishops of Great Millstone, who rule very well, very beautifully. Double salutations to the Akim out here pushing this gospel and truth and sincerity to the best of their ability, given to them by Yahweh Shem Shai. Peace, blessings, and salutations be unto the elect scattered abroad. May the election Yahweh Shem Shai, Lord willing, fall upon your houses. I want to say Kwame Asharallah and Ababa Shalom.